Okay, so let's look at it from kind of like a mixed down view and producer's choices, if you will, or mixed down choices. Okay, we've got several instruments here, and that's where a lot of the choices lie. We have a baritone guitar, which starts the song with this lick. Okay, then right after that we have a harmonica that plays. Then right after that we have the acoustic guitar starts. And then the bass and the drums start together. And now the vocal.
The rodeo was a mighty big affair.
Okay, so all that was pretty easy to decide upon. But some of the other choices are the pan, left and right. The baritone guitar, I have it panned far to the left. Okay, what does it say here? Minus 45. The harmonica, the next instrument to come in, is panned at 40 to the right. Okay, so that gives you a nice separation there. There's going to be the Martin guitar, which is panned to the right 20. The bass is in the center. The drums are already panned from the easy drummer, and then the vocals are going to be in the center. And so the hard part for the decision making was how much to pan each instrument so that you get a mix that sounds deep and wide, both. The depth often comes from the reverb. Let's listen to just the baritone guitar. So you see how it's far to the left channel, but the reverb is stereo. We also have a slide guitar, but it's being played on a Stratocaster, not a pedal steel. I don't own a pedal steel. Volume, there's a volume pedal for sure. Okay, so it's not like a pedal steel, but it's kind of a copycat. The bass was recorded with just the neck pickup and all the tone knobs just wide open, so you get all the frequencies. But when I listened back to it, I was unhappy with how deep it sounded. We have a high pass filter at 122 hertz and a low pass filter at 1460-ish. So the purpose of the low pass filter was to get rid of that humming, the super deep tones of the bass guitar. And the purpose of the high pass filter is to get rid of those unwanted fret buzz when you pluck the string a little too hard. So it doesn't get rid of the fret buzz, but it does reduce the attention that it draws. Okay, so this is what it sounded like without the parametric EQ. There's that little fret buzz there. Did you hear that one? And overall, the tone is real deep. Okay, so now let's go back and we'll do that again. Now this is EQ on. See, it sounds cleaner. Those super deep tones are reduced. When I recorded the acoustic guitar, I had the microphone just a few inches away from my right hand, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I played the guitar kind of gently, and so it's not too boomy bass, but it's also not too delicate. And this is what it sounds like. So I'm pretty happy with that, and it seems to blend with the other instruments pretty well for frequency band. When you're mixing down your song, one of the things to pay attention to are the frequency band areas, okay, like the really low deep notes of the bass guitar, maybe a keyboard, and maybe the kick drum. And then the next band higher would be like low notes on the guitar or cellos or the left hand of a piano, deep voices of men's choir. And then another layer or higher than that would be the male voices, and that can get kind of muddy with piano at the same time because they're sort of in the same frequency band, so that can get kind of tricky. And then the next level higher would be the female voices, and that's going to compete with your guitar. Your guitar sounds are going to be in that similar frequency bands. Higher notes, higher on the piano, higher on the steel guitar, fiddle, or anything that's a little higher, like the flute, maybe high notes on a saxophone. Those are all in the next level higher. And then even higher than that, then you're going to hear things like the pick touching the guitar, the cymbals, the stick touching the hi-hat, the fret buzz on a bass. And also in that higher zone is where you hear the hammer, where you hear the beater of a kick drum. So like in heavy metal, they really emphasize that to the point where the kick drum becomes more like a high-pitched instrument instead of a low-pitched instrument. But this is a country song. We're going to try to keep it, somewhat realistic. I want to say thanks so much to James Soll for playing banjo on this project. Now, to record the banjo, we moved the microphone a few different times. And what seemed to work out the best for this particular tone that you're hearing was to put the mic just to the right of his right hand. Okay, I started it with the mic right over the picks, where the pick is touching the strings, and there was a little too much clickety click, so we moved the mic a few inches behind his right hand, and that's what you're hearing now. Regarding the lead vocal, Sarah's vocal has kind of a high pitch to it, but this particular song is in her low range. And the compression.
Out west and I'm leaving tonight. I said alright with you, if that's alright.
Okay, so that was just dry. And let's go back a little bit and listen to the same thing with the EQ turned on.
Headed out west and I'm leaving tonight.
See?
I said alright with you, if that's alright.
So if you can hear the subtlety there, it's just a little bit of the low range is cut away and it's easier to hear the words. It's more clean, more clear. Now let's add a little bit of compression to her voice.
Jesse started in telling me what to do.
That lifts it up, but it also makes it more
I know
smooth.
a thing or two. So we rode out west with just our horses
And then we add in that
guns.
reverb
No
that I love.
regrets left behind, nothing left undone.
When you do it solo like this, the reverb might sound like it's too much reverb.
Was convenient.
But when you put it together with the whole mix, it sounds right to my ears.
Two riders on the trail going west.